Hey guys, it's me again. As usual, I sit in front of the Switch and play some games. This time, as many times before, it's Smash Bros. Ultimate, but I have to say Smash Bros. Ultimate is a difficult game for me. It's not really easy for me to get a hold on how to fight against all the characters, and especially online, I'm actually not good at all. But at least it is fun sometimes for me. And I gotta say, to distract me from things, it's really nice actually. Plus, I have my favorite controller there, the yellow one with the little Pikachu on the middle. And sometimes I just play because I love to see the controller. And then I immediately think like I have to use it more because it's so damn cute. And that's why I mostly start playing Smash Bros. Ultimate. But my unsuccessful attempts to become better in Smash shall not be the topic of this video. Instead, I found something on Instagram which I thought was really interesting to try out myself. Some of you might have heard of it as the SixFanartChallenge, which is currently all over on Instagram. And I've seen a lot of interesting posts about that with a lot of different characters I like myself. So I thought it would be interesting to try it out myself in my own style. However, throughout the filming process of the video, I found out that my drawing skills are currently not on point and not as they used to be. I was not as happy creating all these fan art because I struggled a lot with little details, with the lighting, with the correct size of the characters. So I have to say it was quite alright. But let's see what you think of the outcome. So let's get started with the process of the SixFanartChallenge. For the SixFanartChallenge, I need a big paper block, some pens, my favorite ones from Japan, a banana. No, just kidding. It's a pencil case with a sharpener and some rubbers. I actually only use the blue one. And I need my imagination. I decided to settle on the following 6 characters. The first one is Rapunzel, the second one Sailor Moon, the third one Rosalina and Luma, then a mermaid, the fifth one is Ballad from Fire Emblem, and the sixth last one is Lucy from Elfenlied. So let's start the process of bringing it all to paper. So I started with measuring the sides of the paper so that I know where I want to put the little frames for the 6 characters, because each character itself has a little frame where it's supposed to go in. After I finished drawing each section for the 6 characters, it looks like this. I'm happy that I took a big paper block because the sections would have been too small otherwise, and so the characters wouldn't be as I imagined them to be, because I would be limited by the amount of space I have, of course. So after this first step, I go in with a sharpened pencil and draw a few sketches of the characters, how I want them to look like in their little frames. After I sketched out every single character, it looks like this. And now I go in and refine it a little bit more, the lines and how the characters should look like. And after that, I use some ink to redraw the lines of the characters, and then I add some color. The 6 characters I chose for the fan art challenge have a personal meaning to me throughout my whole life. I started with Rapunzel because she was the first one who came into my mind when thinking of the fan art challenge. And she represents not only Disney for me, as I grew up with Disney and I am still a big fan, but she also has this quirky personality and this overflowing love for everything and everyone. And she is exploring the world around her with such a curiosity I can identify with, because I'm currently in a situation in my life where I also discover new things about my surroundings and about myself every day almost. And that's why she had to be in the SixFanartChallenge. The next character of the challenge is Sailor Moon. She's a special case for me because as a child I always dreamed of having magical powers, and Sailor Moon was one of the first magical girls ever back then, and so she was my idol. And I am still a big fan of her and rewatch the series as often I can. Rosalina and Luma are in the third picture of the 6Fanart Challenge I drew, and they are also a representation of something I grew up with in my childhood. They represent Nintendo, as the first contact ever with gaming was through the Game Boy. I got between the age of 5 and 10, I believe, somewhere there. I can't quite remember when, but I remember that it was the start of me venturing into the gaming industry and becoming a gamer myself. And Rosalina and Luma are the characters I like the most out of the Nintendo universe. Of course, there's also Peach and Mario, but Peach is too girly for me, and Mario is just Mario. I don't have the connection to him. Whereas Rosalina also had the space theme, and I'm really into the space theme. So Rosalina and Luma deserve to be in the 6Fanart Challenge. The next character I drew is not really out of any universe, like for example Rapunzel, Sailor Moon and Rosalina and Luma, but out of all magical creatures which are out there in the fantasy realm, this is the one I always adored the most, because mermaids always had this kind of mysterious glow around them wherever they appeared in TV shows or in movies or simply in books or animes. So I wanted a mermaid to be part of this challenge. At the beginning of this video, I talked about Smash Bros. Ultimate, and the character I play with the most right now, and is actually my main character, is Ballad from Fire Emblem Three Houses, the female version. I don't know much about Fire Emblem itself. I would want to play it, but currently it's not possible. So I only know Ballad from Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I have to say, out of all these characters, like I think there are over 70 characters in total, I like Byleth the most because her movements are coming out so easily. I like how she fights in general, and I really like her vibe of being the strong, powerful woman. So I wanted to give her a place in this challenge as well. The last character I drew marks my entry into the universe of anime and manga. It is Lucy from Elfenlied, and Elfenlied was the first anime I really watched 3 to 4 times because I've never seen something like that. I mean, Sailor Moon and all the other anime TV shows on free TV back then were kind of mild for children to watch. Of course, there were monsters in it, for example, Sailor Moon, but they weren't that scary. And when I watched Elfenlied the first time, I was really shocked by what I saw, and especially about how that made me feel. I wanted to watch more animes afterwards because I also loved how the characters are drawn, how you evolve with the characters a little. So from this day on, when I finished Elfenlied the first time, I searched for more animes and mangas to watch and to read, and I still do today. Okay, so this is the final result of my 6 characters. As you can see, I didn't bother to make the background according to the characters itself. I just chose some color instead because it was easier, and I was already fed up with how long it took me to actually draw the characters. Overall, I think they look better after I added some shadow and color, and I like them when I look from far away. So don't look too close. So, we're finally done. Or better, I am finally done. After a million coffees and some mental breakdowns, because I realized I am not as good in drawing as I was when I was a teenager, I finally finished the SixFanartChallenge. I'm proud that I finished it. I'm proud that I colored everything in because that's not typical for me. But would I do it again? No, not really. I wouldn't. Never. But I hope it was inspiring for whoever sees this video, and I'll see you in the next challenge I give myself. Bye!